victory on a different kind of court.
Their hard work should not be exploited.
As the Supreme Court rules in favor of college athletes who want to get paid. South Florida residents expressing mixed feelings.
I can have conversations with people, obviously socially distanced still.
Over parks reopening with no COVID restrictions. And welcoming back the community.
See the kids' smiles on their faces, they can actually breathe.
A local indoor sporting facility no longer requiring masks. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello South Florida, I'm Zitlali Solache and today is Tuesday, June 22nd, 2021.
From the South Florida Media Network's Biscayne-based studios in North Miami, this is SFMN Newsbreak.
College athletes fighting for fair compensation in a case against the NCAA. The Supreme Court coming to an agreement and ruling in the students' favor. College athletes are celebrating a legal victory this morning after the Supreme Court justices unanimously ruled against the NCAA for violating antitrust laws. Press Secretary Jen Psaki addressed the issue during yesterday's White House briefing.
And today's decision recognizes that, as with all Americans, their hard work should not be exploited. And the president believes that everyone who works should be compensated fairly for his or her labor.
As it stands now, the NCAA allows schools to only pay for educational expenses, such as tuition, housing, and books. However, student athletes don't receive any of the billions of dollars made from the ticket sales, TV contracts, and merchandise. Justice Brett Kavanaugh wrote, "Nowhere else in the American businesses can get away with such actions." In pro sports this morning, for the first time ever, there's an openly gay player on an NFL roster. Las Vegas Raiders defense lineman Carl Nassib came out yesterday in an Instagram video. He says he's agonized over the decision for 15 years. Carl is donating $100,000 to the Trevor Project, a suicide prevention and crisis intervention organization for LGBTQ+ youth. Miami proud this morning to see itself not on a list of American cities that are more segregated than they were 30 years ago. Researchers at University of California, Berkeley say 81% of regions with more than 200,000 residents are more segregated today. Miami is one of the areas that has seen the biggest decreases in segregations. Others include Savannah, Georgia, and San Antonio, Texas. People excited to travel again, but they could face some major headaches today, as major airlines are canceling flights because of staff shortages. Labor shortages are among the reasons why American Airlines is being forced to cancel hundreds of flights through at least mid-July. The airline has seen 120 cancellations on Saturday and is projecting at least 50 to 80 flight cancellations per day. Back out into fresh air, parks in South Florida giving its residents a sense of normalcy as masks are no longer required. The network's Danielle Rodriguez reports how the decision in conjunction with CDC guidelines came to be.
In Miami-Dade County, parks are close to returning to normal.
The mask restrictions being lifted, I'm able to feel a little more normal due to the fact that I can have conversations with people, obviously socially distanced still.
Mask restrictions have been lifted to multiple parks around the county.
Well, here in Dade County, the mask ordinance has been brought down, and that's a very good thing. So a lot of things can get back to normal.
Officials made the announcement in conjunction with the CDC.
The fact that I can come to the park and watch my cousin's baseball games and have a choice of wearing a mask or not wearing a mask and seeing them play without wearing a mask, or if they choose to, brings back a normality in which we haven't had in a long time.
With restrictions lifted, parks just like this can be full once again.
Going to meet at birthday parties and just going out with the family again. It's something that has been long awaited, and now that it's here, we're extremely happy, especially our family.
Parks are starting to fill up with more and more people because the mask restrictions have been lifted. This has been Daniel Rodriguez reporting for the South Florida Media Network.
Missing pistachios, leaving a cracked trail behind. A man's petty crime is now costing him time behind bars. That's still ahead, and so is the story.
When they told us about the no mask policy, honestly, I was just relieved.
Dropping the mask mandate, an indoor soccer park with a new goal in mind. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
You could be spreading the coronavirus without realizing you have it. So follow guidance from authorities where you live and do your part. It's important to limit in-person interaction with anyone outside of your immediate household, but phone and video chat are safe ways to connect. It's also important to limit any social gathering. This advice applies to people of any age, including teens and younger adults. Visit Coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. This is unacceptable, and something Feeding America is working to solve. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States, including yours. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. What? My.
Sorry.
Oh.
Kicking back into action, this sporting facility in Doral is opening its doors and allowing its guests to roam the building without a mask. Champion Sports Bar and Restaurant is no longer requiring masks, leaving some of its customers relieved. The network's Ruth Correa reports from inside the sports facility on their new guidelines.
Say goodbye to masks. Athletes at Champions can't stop talking about the new no mask policy, a decision that the Doral Sporting Facility made May 14th. They announced to parents and their athletes that they're no longer required to wear masks while inside the building. Though some feel comfortable with these new changes, others are still warming up to the idea of not having to wear a mask.
When they told us about the no mask policy, honestly, I was just relieved. I feel like now, like you see the kids' smiles on their faces, but I'm just glad that things are going back to normal.
Like this young father, many others come and gather in the Champions facility to eat and even to watch their kids play freely without having to wear a mask.
There's a group of kids who are preparing for a tournament and they're not wearing their masks. They're just enjoying themselves and practicing. But also on this side behind me, there is a group of people who are wearing a mask because they want to protect themselves from the COVID virus.
I'm just honestly relieved about the whole thing, and I'm so glad Champions has moved in that direction and kind of took the lead in being one of the places to open up the doors to the option of having a mask or not.
And as you can tell, everyone is enjoying the no mask policy here at Champions. Ruth Correa, South Florida Media Network.
A man is behind bars this morning for a pistachio crime that left a company and authorities cracking a mystery. A thief is absolutely nutty for pistachios, attempting to cash in on a member of the cashew family. Deputies near Fresno, California arrested 34-year-old Alberto Montemayor on Saturday. Throughout the month of June, Montemayor's nut heist led to 42,000 pounds of stolen pistachios from the Touchstone Pistachio Company. That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Zitlali Solache. Get more news anytime at sfmn.fiu.edu.